The Not Too Young to Run movement has called on the Lagos State House of Assembly to pass its bill into law. The group says only 21 states, excluding Lagos, has been able to give it assent. And now politician Gbenga Abiola joins us to discuss this. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Gbenga Abiola.
Thank you very much.
Let's start with Lagos. And you are a Lagos politician, by the way.
Yes, I am.
So a member of the group said on television yesterday that Lagos is usually in the vanguard of developmental strides.
Yeah,
but this time around, Lagos has tarried in passing this bill into law. Can you give us an insight into what may be the reason?
Well, the first question is, is it a matter of not too young to run or not too young to lead? Whether Lagos passes the law or not, which I know will come in its due time, how well prepared are Nigerian youths? I think that's the major question, because if you look at states that have passed it so far, how many young ones are contesting elections? How many young ones will be on the ballot? So I think the most important thing is to see how well Nigerian youths or the youth league in Nigeria are prepared and how ready they are to actually, because we are not saying the old ones should be relinquished of their jobs. We are saying we are bringing new innovations to meet experience, you know, innovation, social media, IT and all, to meet experience, the experience of the old ones. History cannot be left aside. So I think the bone of contention here should not be which House of Assembly passes it or not. What we should be looking at is how prepared are the Nigerian Youth League.
There's another question running through my mind. I don't know where to start from. You are a youth yourself from the look of things.
Yes.
Were you prepared when you became you're a councillor? What's your post?
I happen to be the youngest man that has ever occupied the seat of a local government chairman.
Fine, fantastic. Yes. So how young were you and how prepared were you when you became?
I was 28 when I became sole administrator of Agege local
So how did you get prepared?
I remember when I was in 300 level, that was about 2010, I was in the university where I contested elections. I contested for councillorship position at that time in Agege. How many 300 level students will you see now going to practical politics? At that time, I was studying psychology. I wasn't even studying political science. So I contested elections. Yes, I lost, but at the same time, it gave me, you know, the grip I needed. A lot of young minds supported me. A lot of youths rovered around me, you know, and that gave me relevance politically. So when it was time for elections, every politician, politics is a game of number. Everybody wants to identify with a youth or anyone that has numbers. So my contest at that time gave me the numbers. And at the end of the day, you know, I became the special assistant to the Right Honorable Speaker of Lagos State, who happens to be representing
your early involvement got you prepared for the post.
Perhaps you could also share with us some of your experience. I want to steer the conversation a bit now to another aspect which is critical, and which is the fact that in the Nigerian political terrain, the experience, the elderly hold sway. So how were you able to relate with them in that kind of environment, in this traditional environment where you find that you have to respect the elderly and all of that? I imagine the youngest lawmaker in the House of Representatives,
so where do you draw the line?
Matching up with the older ones at the House of Representatives.
Exactly, that's my point. You know, if you look at it critically, I imagine if I was a cashier in the bank and I was called upon to be sole administrator, it would have been very difficult. But because I was already in the process, you know, I was contesting at that time for councillorship. You need to lobby. You need to lobby, you need to meet with elders. Even if you have your masters, you need to come down to the ward level. You need to mix with people. You know, so that gave me a little edge. So when I got into that position, you know, people could identify with me. Ah, that's the boy. You don't know him. Who is he? He contested for councillorship 4, 5, 6, 7 years ago.
All right.
So that gave me the edge. So it's really important for us to prepare ourselves, you know, because at the end of the day, it's easy to say, I would do this, I would do that as a youth, but we have had young people who have gotten into power, and you know, we had several cases of, you know, corruption and thereabout. So it's the will and the vision first. You are seeing the picture, and secondly, how prepared are you?
Okay, so my next question would be, how are you giving back to the society in terms of this same youth? You hear this, the saying that when you climb up, don't push away the ladder, because some other people may need to climb up, or perhaps you may need them on your way down. So how are you helping this youth who so desperately wants to run or lead?
Yeah, first of all, you see, the truth is, I'm not in office anymore. I've handed over. But at the same time, I've been able to build a base for myself. And so I do what you call orientation and engagements of young minds. If I was desperate, I should be contesting in 2019. But sometimes, because of the experiences I've had, I know that, okay, it might not be all visible. I'm going to be 30 tomorrow, you know. So I look at it, okay, let me set a vision for myself and say 2023, I'm going to contest. By that time, you know, the finances I need and every parameter needed.
And how you carrying this youth?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Really,
so engagement, orientation. Still last week I was with the youth volunteers, a youth group in Lagos State. And with over 100 youths all gathered together.
Who took over from you when you left the office?
The current chairman.
How old is he?
He's 42.
So how come you didn't help a fellow youth like you to take over from you?
Is he not you?
Well,
how do you describe
in the Nigerian context, 42 to an extent, but would you have preferred to see somebody your own age, the age you were when you took power, to
the person that took over power
from you?
Was prepared. He was the secretary to the party. He was the chief of staff at the point. He was prepared, and he's still young, vibrant.
Speaking of which,
yes.
Another aspect of the conversation is that it's not really about age, and it's not really about running, but about preparing a base for the youths, you know, to sustain themselves economically, and that they should pass bills in that direction. What are your thoughts on this?
Yes. Currently, I am trying to work with some team of youths to form a coalition, because you see, everybody is saying not too young to run, but we have policies. Look at the rate of unemployment. Look at the number of universities who produce graduates every year to join the already congested labor market. What is anybody saying about it? So we are coming up with a team of youth groups that will come together and formulate a policy. I can tell you categorically right now, we have a proposal written that we believe would reduce the rate of unemployment in any state by 40% on a yearly basis. It's a holistic program, and we know it will sail. It's always difficult for you at first to push in, but you keep pushing, and let's spend the energy. The next 4 years, I'll spend that energy to see how I can also contribute outside politics or outside governance, so that would be a trademark for me when I want to contest. People will
So how do you make this document become a framework that will outlive you?
It is already. It's just pushing it, and just one example. You know, one person buys into it, others would.
All right, we'll leave it there. Gbenga, Abiola, many thanks for your insight and input onto this interview.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.